Hello, and welcome back. I hope. Once again, it is not giving me my, bar here to let me know that I am streaming. Hmm. And my laptop is not catching up either. I may not even be with you. Good morning. I think it may finally be catching up. I'm so sorry. Technical difficulties there in the beginning. So we are back in the Rockstar editor here, not in GTA itself, but just in a sub-menu, reviewing some previously retrieved footage that we were looking through in an earlier episode here, the various UFOs above various locations throughout the game. And we were just in the middle of looking through the Chiliad lab here in the last clip when I regrettably had to go. And then several weeks passed. You are here! Yes, the perfect mall map. Now I know which way to the Cinnabon. Thank you for being here. You're an integral part of this. And also Cinnabon. So, the one thing I wanted to show you that I did not have a clip of last time, I've pasted into the front here. Just important to know. Part of the overall lore of things is in the very, very opening mission, which I believe takes place like 9 years prior to the rest of the game. So it's back when Michael and Trevor were in their early bank robbing days, their early theft career. And they're a little younger and more naive. And this is North Yankton, which I think is like a North Dakota alternative or something. And you've just robbed this facility and now you're trying to escape. However, at one specific part of the mission, if you go off the road here, down towards this frozen river, there's a little Easter egg hidden there at the opening point of the game, and it's important to note that you can't really get back here. There's a couple of ways to glitch it and get back here, but after this mission, you would never really think about North Yankton again. Excuse me. You know, there's a mission where you come back here to a cemetery, to a different location, but you can't really get to this alien during it. So this is kind of the only time you could see this, and then it's also very hard to see because going off the road actually ends the mission. So like any other place, if you went off the road, you would fail. And you can see here, I actually fail as soon as I get out of the car. But until you fail, you can see this alien under the ice in the river. Let me get out here. I have about 2 seconds before it kicks me, where I just barely get into first person there. As dear Michael, who I should have mentioned is, smooth and baby-faced. Just adorable. 9 years ago. So this is the only sort of real physical alien that exists in the game, and obviously it could be, a guy in a costume frozen in a river. How tragic. But it does seem to be kind of the realest alien available. There are other aliens that look essentially like this, but they're all very decidedly green. I don't know if the ice, like the color of the ice, is affecting this one or not, but he seems to be either blue or, a darker color than the other ones. But there are aliens that look like this in the game. They're just all actors. They're at the movie studio. And they're clearly wearing costumes. And then obviously you see something similar to this in single player during a couple of missions where Michael has hallucinations or is, poisoned or something. Drugged, and he hallucinates aliens that look kind of like this. I think those are green too, but So this is kind of what the aliens, quote unquote, look like that may be related to all the UFOs that we have seen, the UFO underwater, but likely not the FIB UFOs, whatever those are. So that's just something important to know. There is a real physical alien, or the closest thing we have to it, in a very hard-to-see area of the very first mission of the game. So we've discussed all of these. Let's get back to the Chiliad lab for now. And I can do a bit of a rehash here. I realized when I was looking at this earlier, I was looking at the inverted color panels, which are just much harder to see. And once again, it's not as dark on my TV as it ends up being when I review the footage. So you could really see nothing of the murals last time when we were looking through this. Let me try to do a bit better this time. There are these So there are these murals inside Chiliad Laboratory. To briefly rehash, this is a mission from the online mode only. It's not accessible in single player, much like the UFOs are not accessible online. So it's like there's two halves of this mystery now. There's stuff that's online exclusive, and there's stuff that seems to be single player exclusive, neither of which we've really made any progress with. So last time I was looking at this side of the panels that has the black, which is a bit easier to see now in this filter, but let's jump to the other side, which is where they actually have color. And this is the first panel we talked about last time that I think makes sense. It makes some sense, at the very least. It seems to deal with a lot of biological components, DNA, nature, Bigfoot, peyote, chemical compounds, bacteria, that sort of thing. Like it seems to be saying this is a biological aspect to the mystery or something. And you can see in the letters of this DNA strand here, the inside the helix, instead of Gattaca or whatever it should be, it says Bigfoot, effectively. It's BIGFOOT. And then 2 and 7 are both in the helix. And 27 is also listed over there above the peyote. This is like a top-down diagram of the peyote. And you can see this little guy here, this man, Vitruvian man type thing. He has a W on his chest. I'm not sure if you remember when I was showing you that portrait inside my casino penthouse. The teen wolf, the beast, has a W. It's on his varsity jacket for whatever high school that's supposed to be referencing. So he has a W on his chest that seems to be a direct reference to the teen wolf beast. So there's Bigfoot, there's the beast, there's this reference to Bigfoot there. You actually have to eat the peyote in order to unlock this all in single player. To briefly go back over it, we discussed it in one of the previous sessions, but in single player, if you find these peyotes, there are 27 of them, and if you eat all of them, it unlocks golden peyotes, of which there are 7. So I can't recall if it's like there's 20 normal peyotes and 7 golden, or if there are 27 normal and then the goldens unlock, but it's something like that. And then, like I said last time, on the golden peyote, they're tied to specific days. You need to start on Monday in-game, eat the right peyote, and then move to Tuesday and eat Tuesday's peyote all the way through till Sunday in the correct sequence. And once you've done that, you actually turn into Bigfoot. The peyotes themselves, when you eat them, they kind of make you hallucinate that you're an animal. So you turn into a dog or a shark or whatever. But if you do all of that stuff in the correct sequence, the final of the golden peyotes will turn you into Bigfoot. But that's not the end of the mystery. That's only the beginning. So all of this stuff is kind of just telling you, eat 27 peyotes that look like that, and it has something to do with Bigfoot, and Teen Wolf, is basically all this mural is telling us. And then it has a bunch of other symbols that aren't necessarily related to that, like this fingerprint, these leaves. Really has nothing to do with it as far as I know. Obviously, I could be wrong. So it doesn't fully make sense, and even the parts of it that make sense are really only telling you the very first step of what you would need to do. Because after you're actually Bigfoot, it starts this sort of cat and mouse game of audio clues where the teen wolf is like growling or howling throughout the map, and you need to chase him around and find different items, and it all culminates in this big boss battle at the airport scrapyard. And so all of that, it only leads to you get to unlock Bigfoot in this director mode. There's a mode where you can make videos and you can like become any character. You can become Lester and make him do stuff or whatever. So the big reward for all of that is just that you get Bigfoot in director mode, which is okay. It's a nice reward, thank you. But for the amount of work that goes into this mystery, it's kind of ridiculous. The whole 7-day sequence is very, very complex. So to sum up, this definitely is related to the mystery. I mean, it couldn't be related to anything else. But it's not really telling you how to do it. It's just sort of referencing that it exists. And it's maybe giving you a clue to how it could start. And so I've kind of taken that into account, that this is the only one they kind of knew we would know about. Because there have been other clues about this one before, and it's the only mystery that's actually kind of been solved, and there has been a reward for it. So that's the green panel. And I'm kind of thinking that the rest must follow that same vein, that they reference a mystery, but it does not tell you how to solve it. It's just sort of a brief overview of the important moving parts, but not necessarily anything to do with the mystery itself. So the green panel is one, and it appears to be like a biological nature DNA panel. The yellow panel here seems to be more of like a, not necessarily space travel, but some elements of space travel. You can see a lot of things from the Voyager disk that we sent off, I believe 2 of them, into space on various satellites. There's these golden records which contain images and audio files from Earth. And the idea is that eventually they may be found by a sentient civilization somewhere out there, and that they would know how to find us and what we sound like and what we're all about. I think it's an absolutely beautiful, noble idea. And so some elements of that, which is a real thing on the Voyager satellite or whatever it is, some elements of that are repeated here or copied here. Like this, I believe, is a pulsar map, which basically shows the location of various stars nearby us that have gone supernova and died or whatever, and they've become pulsars, which are like blinking remnants of a star that blink in a unique sequence. It's kind of like a fingerprint. Each star has a different pattern. Pardon me, I need a drink, it seems. Him. So each star that becomes a pulsar blinks or flashes in a different, unique pattern. And so all of these lines are basically pointing, in the real-world version of this, they're basically pointing to nearby flashing patterns that are unique and would be noticeable. And you really only need 3 of them to be able to triangulate the position of the planet, but there's something like 14 on the actual Voyager disk, and there's like 11 or so here. It's not quite the same. And there's other things from that disk, like this sound file. It's sort of important to figure out how to play the disc. It's like you need to play it at the correct speed in order to hear it, otherwise it'll just sound like gibberish. And so the front of the record itself tells you what speed you need to play it at with various, line diagrams and things like that. So this mural has a lot of Voyager spacecraft imagery. It has the entire Chiliad mural contained inside of it, and some similar, eye slash moon phases imagery. Some weirdness there. There are these like orbital patterns, which looks very similar to the hippie camp graffiti stuff, the glyphs. But nothing just immediately lines up. Nothing immediately makes sense. And like, oh yeah, of course, it's orbital patterns. It's pointing to Uranus. It all makes perfect sense now. It's all just like another little treat along the pathway to the witch's house here. And it's like, it really doesn't make sense because these lines and various markings along this line are showing distances or like binary sequences that tell you information. And then there's like one here by this guy's hand. And I have no idea what that could be trying to tell us or anything. Like, they just don't quite match up. They're effectively designed to be mysterious, but not necessarily to have an answer. It's designed to be something that you have to think about a lot, and there's not necessarily anything behind it. It's just like a red herring for some of them. So there's these, eclipse type phases or moon phases. Again, the sound wave files. This sort of shading, shadowy effect. This appears to be like, a map of the solar system, effectively. But there's only specific planets. I can't think of the word. There's only several specific planets listed here. Like, they're not all on the solar system map. We're missing 2 of them. And the fact that this is kind of like you have to see something. Like, you need to be in a position and see whatever you would use this pulsar map for. Just seems to be very strange. So anyway, let me back out of this and try to find another camera angle here. Here's the red one. This one seems to be more like less space-based science and more terrestrial science. It, has a map of the Earth, atoms, geometry, force, downward force. I don't know what this is. It seems to be kind of like I don't know. This one actually shows up in some other locations. There's an icon in the game that's the peyote leaves, the top-down diagram of the peyote, and then this symbol, this like spoke, star shape, hydrogen collection, whatever it is, in the middle of it. So it's like this has something to do with the peyote. Seems to be what they're telling us, but no idea what that would be. It seems to be a fairly normal world map. I don't know if I'm missing any massive continents that I should know about, but that seems to be fairly normal. So there's like radiation. This may be a diagram of explosive force, like an explosion. Sun radiation of various types. The infinity symbol. And this is weird, because there is another small mystery in single player. It's not really one of the wider, ridiculous mysteries, but there's like a serial killer mystery going on in the world called the Infinite 8 Killer. And it's this, from all the knowledge we have, it's this guy called Merle Abraham, who lives in the same town as Trevor, Sandy Shores. He had a house there that's all covered in like graffiti or mad ravings, and it seems like he could be the killer, but there's always been a little bit of ambiguity there. And so the fact that his symbol, the Infinite 8, literally his like tagline is infinity is just 8 stood up or something, or 8 is just infinity stood up. And so he wanted to kill 8 people for some reason. And so it's very, very much tied to an in-game existing mystery. It's the weird thing about this panel. But nothing else seems to have anything to do with it. None of these other symbols, any of the atomic stuff or explosions or geography, has anything to do with the killer, as far as I know. And then the other very weird thing about this panel specifically is these dots. I don't know what to call these exactly, but it seems to be a sort of dot code, and so I'm often calling it the Clifford dots, because the guys you fight in here are like clones of this billionaire madman. It's like a funny Elon Musk sort of gone rogue stand-in. And I'm hoping there might be a body still, but I don't think there will be. Let me go all the way back, because I know I saw a body when we were looking at the green panel here. So sorry. Let me see if I can figure this out. Edit camera. There. So these guys that you fight are clones of a billionaire. And for whatever reason, on their backs, they all have this symbol. These dots. And I don't know what it means. They're run by an AI called Clifford that you can see is attached. So they're like fake bodies that this AI called Clifford is running on behalf of Avon, the billionaire. And they all have that code on the back of them. So Clifford, the AI, uses that code to identify real-world elements that he is in control of, essentially is the idea. And then they also have this weird triangle tattoo, but I've never seen that anywhere else but on them. It doesn't seem to have any other reference. So those dots are very specifically related to Avon and Clifford and the AI and the surrounding mystery of the Doomsday heist. So the fact that they show up here on the red with all of these other seemingly unrelated symbols is just something I don't get. I don't get why this has something to do with Clifford. And again, if we take the lesson from the green panel, that this isn't an explanation of the mystery, it's just telling you what are the major pieces. So it's like effectively we now know Clifford and the AI is a major piece, and maybe the Infinite Eight killings have something to do with that? I'm not sure. So this one is probably the weirdest to me, because it just seems to be unrelated symbols placed together. But it's only unrelated because I do not have the information. So that's the red panel. We still have the purple panel left to look at. Let me see if I can find another good angle here. So sorry, I'll leave this on red. Here's a purple panel. So purple seems to be more about like psychology and things of the mind, philosophies. You know, we have this yin-yang symbol, keyholes, your brain. Interestingly enough, too, two of these are backwards. The purple mural is one of them. You can see like the D and the E are flipped. And it could be that that's just how they had to place the image file. Like, it's not uncommon in games for the images to be flipped and then they fix themselves as they are rendered in-game or whatever. So it's weird that these are flipped. It could be a mistake, but the amount of time they've clearly put into this whole mystery, mistakes seem strange. So the fact that this is backwards is weird, and then you might have noticed when we were looking at the yellow panel, the Chiliad mural is flipped also. The whole yellow panel is flipped. However, green and red are the right way. They are not flipped. I have no idea what that means, if it means anything at all. On the image file, just to go one step further with it, the yellow is at the top. These are all one single image that contains all four colors, and then when it's rendered in-game, they're split out individually. But if you look in the files, it's actually one complete image, and yellow is on top. Then I believe it might be red, and then green, and then purple. So just as it happens, the two that are switched backwards are the top and bottom panel of the image. So once again, it could be a mistake, but it is strange that they're reversed. So on this panel, again, there's nothing that really ties to a mystery I know about, like the green panel does. But there are a lot of similar images all over the place in the world, like this maze particularly is weird, because the bank, the entire point of GTA is to make money, and the bank that every player is forced to use is called Maze Bank. So maze essentially equals money in my mind at this point, because I've been playing this game for so long. So there's like a power symbol, we've seen lightning bolts in a lot of these images, on the Chiliad mural, on the sand glyph. There's this idea of justice and brains and mapping out your psychology and finding your way through a maze and keeping your eyes open and making progress, like stair-stepping up to something better, There's all these stairs here. And the fact that this maze has arrows around it, like rotate the maze, you have to rotate it. Absolutely. Enjoy your shower. Hopefully we'll be back to something more fun than art history. But this is exciting. So another weird thing about this is the psi symbol you see here, the Greek psi. It could just be saying, again, psychology, one of the psychological elements, but there is that group in-game called Epsilon that is a cult of sorts. They're effectively Scientology, the in-game alternative to Scientology, so they don't get sued. It's called the Epsilon Program, and there's all sorts of weirdness around that. That's another episode entirely, because that actually ties into Red Dead and time travel and all sorts of stuff that's really interesting. But I have no idea if it has anything to do with this. There's just that psi symbol, which is strange. So, to sum up, it seems like the purple mural deals with a psychological mystery, or a maze of some sort we need to navigate within ourselves. And the green one appears to be more of a physical mystery, eat something and turn into an animal and listen for sounds. That is a physical mystery. This one, I don't know what to make of. It's like a hodgepodge of various elements, some of which seem very physical and some of which seem more mental, or even digital in the case of the Clifford AI. This also is the symbol for your internet. This little world symbol is the icon you hit on your phone to access the internet. So this is like a World Wide Web based mystery, perhaps. I have no idea. And then obviously yellow appears to be space based, all the UFOs and the various strangeness surrounding that. So, in context, this is weird, because this update came after what I would say a good 2 or 3 years of an absolute mystery drought. They were effectively adding nothing related to the Chiliad mural. We didn't know what to do with UFOs. We had already solved, I say we, I had nothing to do with it. We had already solved the Bigfoot beast mystery, and Rockstar actually needed to give us a clue for that one. Someone was really close to finding it. Someone had actually found all of the golden peyotes. Hoping to get a glimpse there. Someone had actually found all the golden peyotes, and they had started on Tuesday to eat them. And they thought, that it was just whatever random day they found the peyote. And they had already caught on to the fact that they might need to wait a day, but they just started on Tuesday. So Rockstar, in what is maybe the only time they've acknowledged this, actually updated the game, and they added something to the files that most players would never see. They added a little, like a commented out line in the code that says he was wrong to start his hunt on Tuesday. They actually directly put that into the code as a comment. And that once that update came out, people scoured the files. They saw that that file had been updated. They saw that line. He was wrong to start his hunt on Tuesday. And they went back to the drawing board, started on Monday, and figured out the whole beast mystery. So that was a long, long time ago, before this Chiliad lab. Like I said, almost 2 years. And then we got nothing. There was no other explanation for the UFOs. There was no other clues, no other comments added. And then this Doomsday Heist update came out. And they suddenly seemed to be saying, no, you guys were totally right. Here's one of the existing mysteries you already found, or at least a lot of points to it. And here's 4 others that you have said nothing about that we've included, that we haven't even heard you say anything about online. Effectively seems to be the message. And obviously this could all be like, yes, it is lucrative to have people trying to chase a mystery and playing the game all the time. But it's like, if your goal is literally just to rile everyone up with mysteries that have no solution, that is not going to end well for you. So I have to imagine they have thought ahead, and there is actually something behind all of this, and it's not just a huge tease. And to make that even more likely, in my mind, they added more mysteries to this room. We briefly saw these last time, but on all 4 doors down below here, there is a symbol. I think I'm too far away from that one. Let me see. Here's my guy. So like beneath the purple mural, for example, on this door, the maze icon, that one right there, shows up on the door, like engraved into it. Even the arrows you can see there. And this door leads further into the lab. You actually have to do everything in this room before this door will unlock. So the maze door starts locked and will unlock as soon as you've finished everything you need to do in this room. This is the red panel door, and it has this box-looking symbol. This like sort of triangular collection of boxes, which you would think it's under the red panel, so it should be a red symbol, but that is not on the red panel. It's back here on the purple panel. Those triangular boxes there. So out of 2 of the doors, 2 of them have a purple mural symbol on them. No idea what that means. The rest of the doors are unlocked, but they don't lead anywhere. Like it's literally a metal detector and then a locked door beyond that. If you go in that room, that's all there is. So that's like a dead end. And it has that weird box logo, whatever that is. I think I'm going to need to change my camera angles here, pardon me. Let's see. Oh, gruesome. So this might be as close as I can get to the green. And it has that symbol I was saying on the red panel. I'm not sure what it is. It's like a kind of a star shape, kind of like a chaos symbol. In a weird way, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 points that end in circles on it. So that's a red mural symbol. So under the green panel, there's a red symbol. Under the red panel, there's a purple symbol. I think yellow is the only one we haven't seen. Here we go. Yellow has the DNA strand, the helix. Not the one that contains the Bigfoot letters, but that one. There, the smaller one. So not the big Bigfoot one, but this DNA symbol that is on the green panel is on the yellow door. So it's just It's so, so strange. Do you need to go through these doors in a specific sequence? Is it watching if you're going through the doors? Do the symbols on the doors matter in the slightest? These are my questions. So to make it even weirder, it's not just the doors, it's not just the symbols. They also added what I believe is the biggest hint that there is a larger ongoing mystery. And it's very, very hard to find any of these. I would say it's almost impossible to find any of these if you don't have this footage and you're not specifically scouring around looking for stuff. This just gets weird. I am completely lost. I really wish your camera, this is like the red wall is how far away from your player you can get, and I really wish this room was just slightly smaller so you could get anywhere from anywhere. I just have to figure out where I actually am in the sequence. So I think it's on the other wall. Let me go to this one, and we'll try here. So one of the first ones is on the second floor between red and purple, I believe. Yeah, purple's over there, red's over there. Second floor, this is the stairwell you come out of. And on the red side of it, there's this slanted pillar. And if you look very, very, very close, you will see the sound wave, the Johnny Be Good sound wave from the Voyager disk etched into the wall. This is not, very specifically, it is not painted on. It is not the icon like a texture on the wall. It's a three-dimensional etching of it, which I believe is specifically to tell us we know that you're looking in the files. We've communicated with you before in the files about the Bigfoot mystery. We know that you have access to these images, and if you look them up, you would think that you have like all the secret knowledge you could. But this is telling us we can take those images and we can turn them into something else. We can turn them into a three-dimensional etching and put it anywhere we want. We can put it in the smallest little location in a dark shadow on a pillar. But beyond that message, I don't know what it's telling us. I don't know if it's important that it is the sound wave. I don't know if it's important that it's from the yellow mural and it is in the red section currently. Beyond the hint that they could be saying, hey, we can turn images into 3D things. I don't know what that tells us exactly. But it is very weird. And in the same vein, I just cannot find the right one. It's one of these walls here, just beyond the plants. And this one's probably going to be too far away. Oh, goody. So let me see which ones I've checked. I've checked purple and red and yellow. I need to check yellow and green, purple and green. Let me get over to that side. So sorry. And so sorry for these camera angles. This is... yikes. Here we go. I think this is the right one. So you may remember from the green panel, there are these leaves. And this is actually very similar to a symbol you see in game of it's actually the logo of a chain of stores. It's called Grain of Truth, and it's like Whole Foods. This is the symbol for Grain of Truth. It's like the exact logo, piece for piece, that's it. But why is it on this panel? And then, why is it here? In a place you would almost certainly never see, behind the potted plants, in a darkened location, you see the leaves, However, 3 of them are missing. That one there, you can see the stem of. And then there's one there and another one. Or maybe it's only 2 of them that are missing, yeah. I think it's only 2 that are missing. I have 3 in my mind because this gets very, very strange. I believe this is another lesson about the game files. It's them telling us, hey, you guys don't know as much as you think you know. Because the Grain of Truth logo is all green. It's just as it appears. All the leaves are green. However, this image is not all one color. It's these 3 leaves, I believe, that exist are different colors each. There's a yellow one, there's a green one, and then there's one that's like cyan, blue. And when they post it, when it's being rendered here, not only are the colors disappearing, you can no longer see that one leaf is green, one leaf is yellow, and one leaf is blue, but they've also removed 2 of the leaves, which to me seems to be saying, if you look in the files and you think you know what color something is, when it's rendered in-game, it may be not only a different color, it may also be missing pieces. We can take things in and out of the rendering, or hide specific parts of the rendering between the image file and the actual gameplay. Seems to be what they're saying. Otherwise, I have no idea what to take from that. What could it possibly mean? So finally, there is this, I'm hoping this is the right one. There's this symbol up here, which I believe is from the yellow mural, this orbital pattern. We touched on this one just briefly. This is another sort of game file, hey, you don't know what you think you know, kind of thing. Because once again, there's colors applied to this, and there's elements of it that are hidden. I'm trying to... There we go, get to effects. So you can just see this a little better. This definitely seems to be some sort of orbital thing, like the path of the moon, perhaps, or of a planet and its moon. No idea. But once again, if you look at this exact file, the image that they're posting on this concrete wall, it is of 3 things in 3 colors. There is the orbital pattern here, but in addition there's the pulsar map from the yellow mural, is listed right here, and then the fingerprint symbol from the green mural, which I was just saying, doesn't really seem to apply to the green mural. I wouldn't know where to fit it in. The fingerprint is here, and I believe the fingerprint is blue. The pulsar map is green, or something like that. And then this, the orbital pattern, is red. And it's the only thing that's showing up, is the red orbital pattern. Yeah, that's a very good question. Why do I think they would say the same thing in 2 locations using the same process? Because effectively, the Grain of Truth, the leaves logo, would be telling us the exact same thing as this is. We can hide entire pieces of a texture, and we can hide entire colors from a texture. So I don't know why they would both be saying the same thing, and it's very likely that I'm not picking up an obvious clue here. So I wish I had a better answer for you. So that one is just weird. I don't know if the colors matter. I don't know what they're trying to tell us. I don't know why there's so many symbols from different maps under other colored maps. And it's all rather strange. They seem to be saying, yeah, you guys missed something, but it also just as easily could be them completely trolling us. Really have no clue. There's like 2 more of those really, really hidden symbols in here, and I have a hard time finding them. I really do, but I think they're both, strangely enough, those Clifford dots, the AI pattern on the back of everyone's uniforms. One of them is on the 2nd floor, and it's like just faintly on the ground here next to one of the staircases. I keep looking for it, but I cannot seem to stumble upon it. And I want to say the other one is in between red and purple or something. It's like in one of these side things, and it's literally hidden up in the ceiling. You can see the pattern of this ceiling has all these sections. The Clifford dots are actually one each inside one of those sections in here somewhere. And I just don't know what that means. It's so weird to me. Come on. Where are you, Clifford? I'm going to need another camera angle here. Let's try this one. So sorry to be winging you around. Must not be that one. Sort of a nice bit of shattered glass from the earlier gun battle there. So yeah, the only thing I can think is that it's the exact opposite one from every other one I've checked. The between yellow and green. So when am I near the yellow and green panels? Perhaps here. No, definitely not here. This is very far away. So sorry, jeez. I'm always on the opposite end of the building. 1 second, I'll be right back. All right, my apologies. Let me try once more to find a good angle here, and then I will give up, I promise. I think it should be that one, but I am just not seeing it. Huh. I think I sent myself like a text a year ago or so that actually had the locations of these. There was some big forum post on the Reddit Chiliad mystery forum where someone had found the locations of all of these, and I remember scouring them trying to find them here. And I think I sent myself like the Clifford dots are on the second floor between red and blue, or whatever it is. There is no blue, but you know. Let's see. Here it is. This is a blast from the past here. So, second floor, on floor, to right of green mural from center. Second floor, to the right of the green mural. So I guess it's just this filter is very bad for this. Let me switch it. Strangely enough, this is the worst filter I could have picked. But you can start to see them there, very, very faintly. Let me see if there's a good one. That's a little bit better. It's really hard to see them. But I hope you can actually see that on the broadcast there. This is very tricky. But the Clifford dots are just there. There's 1, 2, 3. There isn't one there, and then there's 1, 2, 3. So they're like very, very faintly put into the tiles. And then, like I said, there's one more aspect of that exact same symbol that's just hidden up in the waffle of the roof. Let me see if I have that one in my little text here, too. Second floor, ceiling next to red, offside. Second floor. Now it's hard to tell what the colors are in this effect. There we go. So I think it's, oh, pardon me. I think it's like right here on that side. I can't get over there, but it's like in those waffles, or those waffles, to the right of the red panel. In the dark there. I believe it's right next to those blinds. Is where it would be. Let me see if I have any camera angle, because this is just ridiculous. When am I near red? Perhaps here. Yeah. You can see just barely. These ones are dark. Compared to the, see the little dots in there? The little circles? Oh, I'm so sorry. I should have a seizure warning when I'm switching through effects. That was terrible. So yeah, if you were able to pull out enough to be able to see all of these, they go dark as soon as I get far enough away. But that is actually the exact same pattern of Clifford dots. For some reason, up in the ceiling. So Clifford dots are here secretively, in a way I think you would probably never ever find. Twice. No idea why. So that is all of them. That is all the hidden ones I know about. There's the Voyager fingerprint, pulsar map, hidden symbol. There's the grain of truth, 3-colored pieces are missing symbol. There's 2 aspects of the Clifford dots. And then the red mural, or not red mural, a yellow mural sound wave next to the red mural there, the etching, or whatever that is, that turns it into a 3D image. So that is all of the secrets that I know about in here. That's a very good question. Why are they called Clifford dots when they're neither giant nor red, as Clifford the big red dog is? So, the other weird part of this, the part that's spinning off of it, is there's another update that came out after the Doomsday Heist. It's called Arena War, and it makes use of the big stadium in GTA. It finally puts something inside of it that you can now do these Arena War matches, like Mad Max-style car battles in these various arenas, and there's 3 flavors of them. There's like an Mad Max apocalypse. There's no more water. Everything's dusty and bad. That's one of the themes. And then there's like a advertising apocalypse, where it's like a kind of cyberpunk. Everything's gone out of control. Everything is an advertisement, and all the cars are like made out of broken street signs and crazy giant spray paint novelty spray paint cans. It's like the world has completely lost its mind. And then the last one is alien invasion. The last one is aliens have come to Earth and taken over. And during that theme, and I think maybe some of the nightmare is what they call the advertising apocalypse, some of the nightmare stuff too, you can find these symbols again. The same team that found them in this lab found them inside the arena after that update came out. And again, there seem to just be random symbols from the map. They must be telling us something, but we have not pieced together the clues yet. So what I'll have to see if I can do is get some footage inside one of the alien and one of the nightmare arenas so that I can show you the next step of what I believe these secret symbols, specifically from these lab murals, are. And it kind of seems to be ongoing. I don't know what we're going to find eventually, but they keep adding them with new updates. There's been a lot of talk over the last 6 or 7 years about an eventual alien invasion, something actually happening that will piece all of this together. And I don't know if they're really going to try for that or if I'm just getting my hopes up. But that is all of the secret symbols in here that I know about, and I hope I haven't made you too horribly sick. My apologies. It's very difficult to navigate these camera angles. So let's get out of here. Don't save any changes. We've seen the alien. We've seen the various UFOs. I'm sure there's a lot I'm forgetting to tell you about. If we ever get back into this side of things, the conspiracy side of things, we'll have to start talking about Epsilon and the tracks and Craft, and then we'll have to talk about Francis Sinclair from Red Dead Redemption 2. Boy, that's going to be a long conversation. So this is definitely still, even though they're saying, hey, you guys didn't catch anything we gave you and you're missing 3/4 of the giant mystery, it's still only a tiny, tiny part of the overarching mystery of both games now. So my broadcast bar is not up. I have no idea how long I've already been rambling with you fine folks. Thank you so much for bearing with me. I suppose I could try to get into, like, online mode and do a quick sale or something while we have the game up. I did not intend to talk for quite that long. Let's see if we can find at least one exciting thing before I bail on you here. In the search of lunch and likely toilet paper. It's also a search I need to go on. So we'll see if it can load us into story mode here. I don't think you can go... pardon my microphone. I don't think you can go right from Rockstar Editor to online. We'll have to make a brief detour. See if we can get Michael to shout a profanity at us. I'm a famous streamer now. Just have my TP delivered. I wish that was true. I wish that was the case. Oh good, he didn't swear at anybody. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. So let's jump. We'll have one more loading screen here. My apologies. Go. Let's jump in online. See what we can find. Ooh, the gift of diamonds. That is something. If you have been playing the heists, specifically the Diamond Casino heist, you should know that as the part of the Valentine's Day event here, the Valentine's Week event, diamonds have been added to the casino vault So instead of just cash, gold, or artwork, it's now cash, gold, artwork, or diamonds, and diamonds by far pay out the most. So if you do not have a heist going currently, like I have, woe is me, start it up for diamonds, do. It's on. I have in front of me, just as full disclosure, I have in front of me a printed piece of paper that's the image file for all 4 of those colored murals. And I have them cut out into each individual section, and I'm like rotating them and placing them over each other and moving around. And I've been doing that for, 2 years. Never come up with any ideas whatsoever. So I've even taken it so far as to make for myself little tangrams here. Little paper tangrams. And it's never done me any good. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I was referencing a different Michael. I swear. There we go. You can usually tell when the clouds begin to move, when it's syncing your time to that of the game server. You're getting close. There's that building down there to the right. I'm not sure if you can see it. It looks kind of like an 8 or an infinity symbol. And it's like part of the police station there in downtown Vinewood. It's part of City Hall. It's always made me wonder if it has anything to do with the 8 infinity symbols that show up in different places. Because it's like the only building I know of that has that shape. I do need a corkboard with string and tacks and bloody handprints all around. It's gotten to that point. I'm Jim Carrey's the number 23 over here, let me tell you. 23? 27? I don't remember. 26? Who knows? Jim Carrey probably knows. Alright, so we are back.
Hello, sir. How can I be of help today?
I would love 50,000 chips.
Anything, we're only a call away.
Okay, I'll call you back for 50,000 chips. So let's take a look here. I may do something ill-advised, shall we say? Briefly? One moment. I'm going to do something ill-advised. And hello again. Well, that was ill-advised. Oops. Accidentally kicked everyone else out of the session. Was it an accident? Yeah, probably. Yeah. Probably wasn't intentional. I've got about $600,000 in my nightclub sale that I would not like to risk.
Last night's debauchery will be cleaned right away.
Oh, I can only spin once per day. And apparently I span later than 9:30 a.m. last time. That's fair enough. This is the new current Valentine's podium vehicle, by the way. A lovely pink-themed Roosevelt Valor for all of your gangster dreams. I know I have gangster dreams. So let us rush off to the nightclub here. We'll see if we can get a quick sale out.
Welcome to the Diamond Casino and enjoy.
Not sure if I could do all of it at once. I may be better served to split up this particular sale. Ooh, my My Oppressor Mark 1 is out from last time I was playing here. I brought that back out to refresh my memory. And I always forget that it's just one of my favorite vehicles. It's really unlike anything else in the game in how it maneuvers. And I really, really like it. Let me see if I can show you guys. So this is the Oppressor Mark 1. You've probably seen me hovering around on my Mark 2, which actually flies full stop. This doesn't completely fly. It is a normal motorcycle. However, it has this little feature, which is very, very nice. And it also has this little feature, making it one of the coolest vehicles in the entire game, by far. So I just love racing around on this thing. You do have to be careful for light poles, of course. That becomes a big concern. So there's my nightclub over there.
How you doing?
Let's head on down. There's always a big concern. It's a little bit hard to stay on it if you hit anything. However, coolest vehicle ever. I'm declaring it now. So I'll be calling that back in, I'm sure, after we make a sale here. Because I think I left it up on the roof. It got stuck up there. Or otherwise I would pull it around and park it properly. All right. What do we have? $18,000 in the wall. Let's yank that out. And then, oh, my popularity is low. You can do these popularity missions, which are kind of cool. I should show you some of those sometime. There's different things like flying a blimp around and playing music out of it, or like going to pick up a celebrity in a limo Hummer and bring them to your club will increase your popularity. Random things like that. So I have 771,000 now. That is quite the stock. I'm almost full of a few things. So I'm definitely going to do this first to take just a couple of the stocks down. We'll see if we can get it all down into one van is the idea. When you hit up near like 400 or 500,000, you have to use a bigger truck that's not quite as fast to make the delivery. So I'm trying to keep everything down in this van because this is just my easiest delivery vehicle, in my opinion. So this one I have 3 stops, and I don't think they're going to send anyone after me, and you can do them in any order. But the idea is you can't hit anything or you lose that $10,000 you start to lose that $10,000 bonus. So this one is more of a, hey, drive like a normal person and don't be reckless sort of thing. I, of course, won't listen to any of that. I'm just going to be as reckless as possible. Quite the fan of the thumping dirigible, are you? Saucy. I'm impressed. Alright, here's some goods. Let's go number 2. No, that's not what I intended to say, but yeah, let's go number 2. So that wheeled oppressor bike, while impressive even in the city, really gets fun out in the open plains and hilltops, where you have upward angles to rocket off of. It's really quite impressive. Careful now. Let's not be hasty. That was bad. Oh, it didn't take away my 10,000 though. I was expecting it to. I just thought I wouldn't hit the car instead. Maybe that's all they care about. I'm not sure. Sorry. And we'll just slip on down here. Alright, final stop. Let's go number 3. What? Well, I appreciate that greatly. Thank you for spending your slightly rough day with me. I hope to, at the very least, provide a nonsensical distraction. Peanut butter egg dirt. If anyone can tell me what that reference is from, I'll give you an imaginary cookie. I will. It's a weird reference. I guess that doesn't count against my 10,000 either. I'll take it. And that's a really good way to do that, too. That mission always gives you 10,000, so it's like the less you can sell to get a $10,000 bonus is better. So it's not bad, only having a $69,000 sale or whatever that was. That worked out pretty well. So I now have to get back to the nightclub. Let's use our delicious little oppressor bike to do so. And look away. Don't look. The oppressor is shy. Okay, so this is always a bit of a tricky situation. The one thing the Oppressor Mark I does not handle is water. It is very, very bad, in fact, with water. So when you're in a docky area like this, it can get a little tricky, but we're going to try it. So really, when you get one of these, it's kind of like learning an entirely new style of vehicle movement. You suddenly have this single entry or axis point on which your turning depends, based off of the wings instead of how you can usually kind of go wherever you'd like. So we'll try to continue to skirt above the water, gingerly, gently, lovingly, even. And then we'll bring it in for a safe landing. Oh yeah, this is gonna be safe. Whew. Oh, you're completely right. I'm sorry I'm late. You totally got it. It is Scrubs. The janitor is messing with JD. And so JD says like the most random thing he can think of, which is peanut butter egg dirt. And the janitor says exactly the same thing at exactly the same time. Because he's a genius. Slash was originally supposed to be part of Zach Braff's imagination. There you go. There's the whole backstory. Chocolate chip for you. Extra chunky. Let's see what that's brought us down to. I'm still alone. Oh no. I wonder how that happened. Nope, I don't need to... Just on autopilot, checking the wall safe. Don't need to. And I'm free. Ah, that's a long animation. I completely forgot to raise my popularity before we did a sale there. Let me do that now. At least by a little bit. So the wall safe can begin to make more money. I'm not sure if I've explained that before. Perhaps multiple times. But that wall safe up there is making money as it relates to your nightclub popularity bar up here. So right now it's only making like 1,000 or 2,000 per day, rather than the 10,000 per day it should be making at full. And the easiest way you can do these nightclub management missions, obviously promote your club, which goes off and does a thumping dirigible, or whatever you may be. However, the easiest way to do it is just to swap out your resident DJ, which is essentially saying, hey everybody, someone new is going to come play at the club. But you do it all at once, like 3 or 4 times. And then it raises your nightclub popularity bar by some. And you do it again. So really, at the end of the day, it only kind of pays for itself. Because it doesn't make you that much in return to be spending big chunks of 10,000, but eh. So we have another 25 seconds until we can do another sale. Let's go one more. That should fill it up. Alright. So there are none of these active now. I'd probably be better served by selling whatever's fullest, which I guess would be these quote-unquote South American imports. I always love this because it's like trying to make your business seem legitimate. So it's like cargo and shipments. It's like stolen art. Sporting goods is gun-running weapons you've made. Pharmaceutical research is meth. South American imports is cocaine. Organic produce is marijuana. Printing and copying is counterfeit cash. Or I guess it's not counterfeit cash. Cash creation is counterfeit cash. Printing and copying is like fake IDs and passports. So I love how hard they try to make it seem like this is a legitimate business with South American imports. It just cracks me up. So let's sell that because it is 9 out of 10. It's the... You can store the least cocaine out of anything, apparently. And then I hope that will get us down enough. At 180,000, I think that'll put us down below the point where we could then sell the rest. But I may be wrong. We're getting there. We're salesing. Let's take this about 30 feet that way. This'll be fun. Oh, that was the best. Alright, back in the van. And we're headed to Palito, which is pretty much the opposite side of the world from where we are currently. I have to take the coastal highway. So let's head on down. And now I don't have any stricture against running into things. I can be as reckless as I please. Walking short distances is for chumps, I agree. If you have an oppressor, why not? So this will be a bit of a road trip here, my apologies for the lack of action. I guess I could swerve wildly to add more action in the mix. There. That was exciting. Oh, there's a little fingernail moon up there. So with so many different moon phases now involved in the symbology, it's become the moon itself has become sort of a source of mystery. The rotational cycles of both the sun and the moon appear to be a little strange. They're not quite fully 360-degree orbits, or whatever you would call it. It's kind of like a disk that sits above the world, and the moon dips below the horizon on either end of the disk, basically, to make you think that it is rising and going all the way around like it's an actual moon, but it's kind of an illusion of that. The sun is a similar thing. It's sort of rotating above you rather than around you. And people have tried to map out the moon phases and sun phases, and they've tried to find eclipses at various historical points in time, and all manner of things. But no one's ever really been able to come up with something that doesn't seem like it could also be a lighting glitch. Like, that's the problem we're having. Is everything could be something, it could be nothing at all. And the game is so huge with so many moving pieces that there's no end to things to try and search. Pardon me. Pardon me, sir. Excuse me. Excusez-moi. I am so sorry to hear that, yes. The only time you tried to play GTA, you were relentlessly hounded by human players trying to kill you for no reason because they are horrifying jerks. That is a fairly typical GTA experience, I regret to inform you. I don't get it, either, is my problem. I just don't understand why it makes you feel fun or better about yourself or powerful or strong to go find a level 1 player and blow him up a bunch of times with like a jet. It makes no sense to me. If you wanted to prove yourself, there are likely better ways. Unless you're just trying to prove that you're an asshole, in which case, continue, by all means.
Hey,
And pardon my French. And pardon my use of pardon my French if you're French, that's rather insulting. This thing does have a cow catcher, yeah. Well spotted. Imagine there's nothing preventing me from yeah. Oh, there's that rock. There's that rock preventing me. There we go. Aha, so for this one they're having you drop the van and get into a Jetsam cargo bob helicopter. Oh, we must get into a cargo bob helicopter.
all right.
Yes. And now we will drop the little hook. We'll drop the little hook underneath, and then we will carefully, very gently try to grab the van. A little bit German. There we are. We have grabbed the van. That's pretty French. No. It's always a little nerve-wracking when you're taking $180,000 and dangling it over the bottomless sea. As if to say, "Strike me down, God, I dare you." Dink. Van delivered. Let's get out of here. All right. I'm going to go ahead and park this. And we'll grab our presser again. Just here at the roadside fruit stand. There. I love a good cargo bob. There's all kinds of fun you can have with that.
Okay.
So like I said, this is pretty much as far as you can possibly get. My nightclub is here. That's where we just came from. And we went all the way up the coastal highway to the far end of the map. So while we're all the way up here, let's go ahead and stop in the bunker, which would be about the halfway point. We'll see if we have anything there before we continue to get rid of the last little bit. This thing is entirely too much fun on mountains. Entirely too much fun. You prefer Cargo Roberts. That's fair enough. None of this informality of the Cargo Bob. Cargo Robert, good to see you. Cargo Stephen, how's the family? Cargo Chadwick, looking good. And we're back. Back on solid ground. Thanks again, Mountain. Highly recommend you get yourself an Oppressor Mark 1. Awful lot of fun is being had. It's also, you know, quite an expansive solar system above there. As you may notice, the many constellations which do change at various points in the moon cycle. I think it's something like it's a 55-day moon and sun cycle, and then it starts repeating. And there's like individual constellations for most of those 55 days. Very, very complicated, and could be hiding any number of things in the firmament above. We do have a full bunker stock. I'm glad to hear it. Or not full, but the entirety of the supplies I provided. The bunker is very susceptible, more so than most businesses, to being raided. When you have like over half stock, you start to be raided by the police. You're becoming an empire man. It's getting out of hand. And so I usually just buy one thing of supplies, which increases the supplies bar by about as much as the stock bar is at now. And then you're never in danger of being raided. It gets to its highest point, and it's not enough to draw the ire of the police, is my plan. So once again, I'm hoping we don't get one of those 5-stop Merryweather missions.
Okay, expect law enforcement to get in the way on this sale.
This is likely my second favorite. Absolutely. Thank you for hanging out with us here. Hope you have a good night. This is likely my second favorite delivery mission of the bunker. Full stop. This is a heck of a lot of fun. Because they just give you this big, big truck that has a huge nose on it. And then they give you a police wanted level, mandatorily. You cannot escape the police. And they just tell you to open it up. Have a good time. It's one of my very, very favorites. Anytime now. That global signal has activated, which means the police are on to me. However, there's really not much they can do. Good luck. So this is just a blast and a half. 2 blasts, even. Oh, pardon me, sir. That was unnecessary. Trying to squish his van, but not necessarily his legs, because that's just rude. If you have the opportunity in your own life, at any point, to squish either a man's van or his legs, I do suggest the van. Ooh. Explosive. Sharp left. Hang on to your kittens. Not sure why they're having me do so much suburban crossroads here, or whatever these are. A bit tight. Just a bit tight. Alright, cross the bridge. Nope. I made a split-second decision, and it was the wrong one. Ah. It's another thing that can happen if you mess up your angle too badly. You can detach your trailer. Luckily, you can attach it right back. Excuse me. Alright. And there you go. There's my second favorite cell mission of all time. I don't think that helicopter worked quite like it was supposed to. It's like off screen half the time. Okay, let's get that oppressor bike back. I am too far from a suitable road. Fair enough. How about out here? This, though it does look like a road on the map, is likely more of a parking lot / interior area. And this likely becomes a road, is my thinking. There we go. So that's the bunker taken care of. It'll stock back up now over the next 2 hours. So we just have another 600 or so. Oh, yikes. They put it up on the, put it up on the highway there, I think. So let's call in something else. CEO vehicles. A buzzard. Did they also put that on the highway? You're kidding. Maybe it's just out here, and I'm judging them too harshly. But if those are both up on the highway, poor placement. Poor understanding of what I wanted from you, Jeets. Oh good. They're not. Just have to get past this fence. That's a long fence. Okay. There. I'm impatient. Let's see if we can make it across the same dock section we did last time. Don't want to risk it here with an early takeoff. Oh, that's too bad. Tried to get a parachute out in time. I was so enthused with dodging the billboard that I neglected to dodge the roof itself. But that's literally like half the fun of the suppressor bike, is just all of the new creative ways you never imagined you could die. Heading back to the nightclub. Whee! It's also just super fun as a normal motorcycle. A great vehicle all around. So something near 600,000 left to do. I was saying earlier, I think the cutoff is somewhere around 400, so we may need to do yet another smaller sale, but at this point I'm kind of just thinking about going for the full bulk of it, even if we get a larger van. I'm sure it would be fine. I'm sure we can figure it out. But let's see if my memory is even correct. That is a much nicer rate at which money is collecting. In the wall. Give me one moment here. I'll be right back with you as we travel down. I'm back. It's me. I'm here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to inform you. Okay, so it is at 524. That may be a big van, but let's try it. I'm curious. All goods. I did not yet check if I'm still alone in this session, but I'm just going to hope that I am. And thank you for bearing with me through these many, many sales. Hopefully this will be the last of it.
Okay.
I don't know how I got so much built up while I was trying to get footage yesterday. Or whenever it was. Last week? Let's see what it has for us. Ah, nice. This one's a... Usually you're not followed or hounded, and you just have to search a specific area for a buyer. Is the only challenge of it. Which is very, very easy on an Oppressor Mark II, when you can fly around and look for them. But it's a little bit harder from the ground. I'm sure we'll figure it out eventually. That just looked fun. I'm taking it. Sometimes you gotta take the path your brain is telling you just looks like fun. There's nothing... If you haven't played
You there?
GTA...
Right.
Thank you, Tony. There's something very, very special about the driving mechanics of GTA. They soaked a lot of time and a lot of effort into making that really, really good. And it just feels kind of unlike any other racing game, that you kind of have more of a connection to the road and to the car itself. You have more angles of attack and paths to go on, and the actual movement through the GTA world is very, very cool. And hard to replicate. Sometimes I just kind of crave driving down the highway or something, you know. So there was the whole shebang. Small van sale, that was it. Just had to find him. And I'm rank 393 now, apparently. Which at this point is really just more of a badge of shame than anything. Look how much time I've wasted. But still. Yes, thank you, Tony. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I need this one, because it's just better. It's just a better car. That's why. It's not like a police emergency or anything, I'm trading up. Thank you. A little bit of rain. It's very lovely. Probably somewhat uncommon in the actual state of Los Angeles. The state of Los Angeles. It may as well be at this point. So the only other thing I was thinking about grabbing real quick is just to make sure my arcade safe isn't full. Back over downtown here, but then I think we can quit out of Jeets. Thank you so much for bearing with me in those sales. That will keep us well stocked. Climbing up on 5 million again. Whenever they next push out some massive expansion with new things to buy. It's a very nice rainstorm. I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling, I've sold my cocaine. Suddenly dry. An oppressive dryness settles upon the townsfolk. Why, hello. And welcome with your van full of swag. Please, add it to the swag pile. It's communal. That swag is for everyone. Don't want you thinking I'm going to hoard it all. Oh, that is very kind. I'm sure there's enough chocolate chip cookies to go around. You should keep it. See what Nazar has to say for herself.
Interesting. I see thunder and lightning.
So it's interesting that, you know, the rainstorm just started outside and she's aware of that. She knows what the current weather effect is. It's almost like you would need to be able to know inside the arcade or something.
Why do no. They are all the same car, and I see great wealth and great boredom. This is a strange vision.
It's a super interesting one because it's kind of like breaking the fourth wall. She said something, badly paraphrased. She said something like, I see many cars in a white room. And she's like, no, they're all the same car. And I see great wealth and great boredom. And there used to be this thing, I think you probably still can in various ways, but there used to be a way you could put a car into a garage, which is like a white room. All of the garages are the same white interior. Back in the day, you used to be able to duplicate them, so you would put one car in and then do something, and it would change into 2 cars, and then 4 cars, and then 8 cars, or whatever. And so it was a way to make money by glitching the system back in the day. And she's referencing that and said it leads to great wealth and great boredom. Because if you glitch out all of your cars just to get money, you're not going to actually want to play the game. Like, if you buy everything you ever want to buy immediately with cheat money, you're not really getting the experience they want you to have. So it's funny that she says that. Anyway, one very poor, distracted attempt at getting a shiny wasabi kitty claw there. That did not work. I think this is likely plenty of GTA for now, with something near $800,000 made. At some point I am going to have to go ahead with this silent and sneaky heist that I have set up here. I have all the jobs done for it, I just need to start the actual mission itself. But I will need to find an online rando or something to help me do that, which is often quite tricky. So anyway, thank you for your time. Thank you for helping me get piles and piles of cash. Let us deposit just a skosh of it. Are you lucky enough to get a third game today? Survey says it's likely. My magic 8-ball is telling me. Ask again. I do hope to be back. I have to go do some errands, get some groceries, get some toilet paper, aforementioned. And maybe we can jump back into some more Dark Souls or Witcher or something later today. That would be fun. I hope to catch you. I hope to catch you again with my erratic gaming schedule. Thank you for bearing with me. I will give you a warm salute of genuine affection, and I will see you back in the most wholesome methamphetamine empire in all of Los Santos next time. Thank you again, and bye for now.